Mark you had in
West.
Key West.
Yep.
Mindy you had shortly after moving to Sioux City.
Very shortly after.
So anything, you were winging it, you said, as you were pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Anything memorable about Mark's birth? Other than it was your first one, but any...
Other than the fact it took 2 days.
2 days of labor.
Yeah. But it was kind of funny. Not at the time, I'll guarantee it. But back then, you didn't go to the hospital with your wife. I was in labor all day at home one day. Not bad labor, but enough that I knew I was in labor, and I was in bed all day. So when he came home from work that night, he took me to the hospital, dropped me off, and went home. And so, I can remember him saying this. He put on a pot of coffee. He said, well, it's probably going to be a long night. Gotta make a pot of coffee. And he drank a pot of coffee, and then he went to bed, and then he got up the next day, and I was still in labor.
That was normal behavior, or that was Dad's behavior?
I think it was normal. It just,
Yeah.
it's
And
the way it was.
And you hadn't done months and months of training classes to get it?
Nothing. Mike, I didn't even know how to make formula.
Right.
Back then you had to boil all the stuff, and it was different. But nobody taught you to do it. You learned to
How
do
did
it on
you,
your own.
you'd ask Honey, ask your friends, ask the nurse? How did you make it up as you went? How did you figure it out?
No,
Read the label on the package? What was it?
I think probably read the label on the package, because my mother hadn't made formula. Probably the nurse said you have to make formula, and it has to be sterilized. And, you know, they probably gave you a 5-minute talk on it, and then you just went home and did it.